Have you ever noticed that sometimes the moment you start feeling closer to a woman, she suddenly pulls away? It almost feels like she's losing interest right when the connection should be at its strongest. And here's the part that confuses most men. Many times, she's not pushing you away because she doesn't want you. She's pushing you away because she wants you more than she's ready to admit. This is where female psychology gets tricky. A woman can feel a powerful attraction to you, but that very attraction also makes her vulnerable. And vulnerability is something many women struggle with, especially if they've been hurt before. Instead of leaning into the closeness, she distances herself. It's not always logical, it's emotional. She wants you, but she's also afraid of what wanting you might mean for her heart, her independence, or her control. Welcome to the channel, where we break down the real dynamics between men and women in a way that's direct, simple, and eye-opening. If you've ever been left confused by a woman's mixed signals, you're not alone. Men often assume if a woman pulls away, it means she's done, but the reality is much more complicated. Sometimes her pulling back is actually proof of how much she feels. In this video, we're going to break down exactly why women behave this way. You'll see the hidden psychology behind her actions, the fears she won't admit, and the ways she tests not just you but her own emotions. By the end, you'll understand that her pulling away doesn't always mean rejection. In fact, in many cases, it means she's right on the edge, her fear of losing control. When a woman pushes you away right at the moment when she wants you the most, it's usually not about you doing something wrong. You have to understand, many women are taught, consciously or subconsciously, that if they give in to their emotions too quickly, they are putting themselves at risk. Risk of being hurt, risk of being abandoned, risk of being taken for granted. So when her feelings for you start to grow, instead of leaning in, she suddenly leans back. It might feel confusing. You're thinking, if she likes me, why is she pulling away? The answer lies in her psychology. Attraction for her isn't just excitement, it's vulnerability. And vulnerability feels like weakness to someone who has learned to protect herself. This is why you'll often see women sending mixed signals. One day she's warm, affectionate, even craving your attention, and the next day she acts distant, cold, or detached. What's happening is her emotions are pulling her forward, but her fear is pulling her backward. Think about it this way. She's not actually pushing you away because she doesn't want you. She's pushing you away because she does want you. The intensity of her feelings makes her feel like she's losing control of her emotions, and that loss of control scares her. The pushback is her way of regaining that sense of power, even if it doesn't make sense logically. Men often misinterpret this. They take her distance as rejection and either chase harder or give up completely. Both reactions tend to backfire. When you chase harder, you confirm her fear that she's losing control because now you're overwhelming her even more. When you walk away immediately, she feels abandoned, which reinforces her guard. The key is not to panic. You need to see her pushback for what it is, a defense mechanism, not a final verdict. At the root of her behavior is emotional self-protection. For a woman, falling deeply for a man isn't just about attraction. It's about trust. If she doesn't feel 100% safe with you emotionally, she'll hold herself back, even against her own desires. And here's the twist. Sometimes the more she wants you, the stronger that fear becomes. That's why she pushes you away hardest at the peak of her desire. What you need to remember is this. Her pulling away isn't proof that she doesn't want you. It's proof that she does. A woman who feels nothing for you won't bother with mixed signals, but the woman who's battling her emotions will. Your job isn't to fix her feelings or chase them. It's to stay calm, steady, and give her space to work through that fear without feeling pressured. That's how you turn her push away into a pullback toward you. Testing your strength. When a woman pulls away even though she likes you, one of the biggest reasons is because she's testing your strength. Now, I don't mean she's consciously sitting there plotting ways to play with your emotions. Most of the time, this test is subconscious. It's not about manipulation, it's about survival. Women by nature want to know if the man they're investing in can handle pressure, uncertainty, and emotional turbulence. And nothing exposes a man's true nature faster than how he reacts when she suddenly shifts her energy. Here's what you need to understand. Attraction isn't just built on how fun, handsome, or charming you are. attraction is also about whether she feels secure in your presence. That sense of security doesn't come from you making her promises or chasing after her with constant reassurance. It comes from how you carry yourself when she withdraws. Does your world crumble? Do you panic and blow up her phone? Do you immediately demand answers? Or do you stay centered, calm, and grounded like a man who isn't shaken easily? Here's the brutal truth most men don't want to hear. A woman will test you. Maybe not with words, maybe not in obvious ways, but through her actions. This is where most men mess up. They mistake her pulling back for rejection, so they panic and try to force closeness again. They call, text, show up, or start interrogating her with, "What's wrong? Did I do something? Are you mad at me?" And in doing so, they destroy the very space she needs to feel safe again. You see, if she's pulling back for an emotional reset, your job isn't to chase. Your job is to give her that breathing room without resentment or drama. Here's the psychology behind it. When she takes a step back, her mind and heart are processing the situation. If you allow her the space, she begins to miss you. She starts to remember why she liked you in the first place. Her emotions rebalance, and when she comes back, her feelings are stronger and more stable. But if you suffocate her during this process, she associates you with pressure instead of comfort. This is why emotional resets are not only normal, but also healthy. They allow her to move past fear and into deeper connection. And the man who respects that process is the man she values long-term. Instead of taking it personally, you need to see her distance as a natural rhythm of attraction. Just like the ocean has waves that pull back before crashing stronger on the shore, women sometimes retreat before they come back with more energy and desire. The key is self-control. You have to train yourself to resist the urge to close the gap immediately. Let her breathe. Let her reset. Show her that you are secure enough to withstand her absence. That strength makes her feel safe, and it deepens her attraction. So next time a woman pulls away, don't automatically assume the worst. Sometimes it's not about you at all. It's about her needing to process her emotions. And if you give her that space without fear, she'll often return with more clarity, more certainty, and more passion for you, testing your strength. When a woman pulls away, she's often running a test without even realizing she's doing it. She wants to see if your confidence is real or if it crumbles the moment she gives you less attention. Most men fail this test because they panic, chase harder, or start acting insecure. And once that happens, she instantly knows the strength she thought you had was just surface level. You've probably seen this before. Things are going great, she's texting back quickly, she's engaged, maybe she's even talking about future plans. Then, out of nowhere, she cools down. She takes longer to reply, cancels a plan, or says she's busy. The average guy will blow up her phone, demand explanations, or start begging for reassurance. That reaction kills attraction because it shows weakness. Here's the key. Women are drawn to men who can remain calm under pressure. She wants to know if you'll stay grounded when she's unpredictable. She wants to see if you'll stay secure when she introduces uncertainty. That's not manipulation, it's female psychology. Women value stability in a man, and the only way to find out if it's there is by creating moments where she can test it. So what should you do when she starts pushing away? First, resist the urge to overreact. Don't chase, don't guilt trip, don't start asking, "What's wrong? Did I do something?" That's exactly the kind of behavior that makes her doubt your strength. Instead, give her the space she's creating, match her energy. If she's pulling back, let her. If she's quiet, don't fill the silence with neediness. Your calmness shows her that you don't need her constant validation to feel secure. Second, pay attention to your own cadence. Continue to pursue your goals, your career, your fitness, and your friendships. There is a strong appeal when she realizes that her remoteness doesn't faze you. Without using words, it conveys the message, "I'm solid. You don't have to keep me together." Women are powerless against that kind of strength. Keep in mind that attraction is about how you handle yourself when she's unsure, not just how you make her feel when you're together. She will respect you more, trust you more, and be more attracted to you if you can pass the test by remaining composed, grounded, and focused. She will begin to question all of her previous feelings if you fail by responding insecurely. At the end of the day, a woman pushing you away when she wants you most is often her way of checking if you're the man she can rely on. Don't take the bait and lose yourself in the process. Hold your frame, keep your composure, and you'll come out stronger in her eyes every time. When attraction feels like a risk, attraction isn't always exciting for a woman. It can also feel dangerous. And this is one of the biggest reasons why she sometimes pulls away, even when she clearly likes you. For her, attraction means vulnerability. It means letting her guard down and putting herself in a position where she could get hurt, disappointed, or abandoned. The stronger the attraction, the greater the risk. Think about it. If she's mildly interested in a man, there's no fear attached. She can text him back casually, see him when it's convenient, and walk away at any moment without emotional damage. But when she meets a man she really desires, someone who makes her heart race and her emotions feel uncontrollable, suddenly the stakes are higher. She has something to lose. That's why women sometimes send mixed signals. One moment she's deeply invested, the next she's distant. It's not always about you doing something wrong. It's about her internal battle between desire and self-protection. Many women have past experiences of being let down, betrayed, or undervalued. So when she feels a strong attraction, her instinct is to test the situation. Can I trust him with my feelings? Is he the kind of man who's going to disappear once I open up? Here's the tricky part for men. When she pulls back in this way, she's not trying to reject you. She's testing whether you're safe for her emotions. She wants to know if you'll respond with patience and confidence, or if you'll crumble into neediness. You lower the risk in her mind when you are composed and strong. You show her that you will not take advantage of her weakness. Let's examine a scenario from nature. Let's say she's experienced a difficult breakup before. She sacrificed everything for someone who eventually abandoned her or moved on to someone else. Now, her brain sends out warning signals when she experiences the same degree of thrill as you. Be careful, this feels familiar. Don't let him get too close too fast. So she slows things down. She takes space. She acts less available. Not because she doesn't want you, but because her attraction feels risky. What should you do in these moments? The worst move is trying to force her closer by demanding reassurance, asking for constant validation, or proving your worth to her. That only heightens her fear because it shows insecurity. The better move is to remain steady. Don't punish her for pulling back, but don't abandon your own standards either. Keep living your life, keep showing consistency, and let her see over time that your presence doesn't equal danger. When she feels that you're a man who can handle her attraction without pressuring or suffocating her, the risk begins to fade. She realizes she can open up without losing herself, and when that happens, the pull she feels toward you becomes unstoppable, the hidden test behind her distance. When a woman starts pulling away, it's rarely random. In many cases, her distance is not just a reaction, it's a test. And this is where a lot of men get confused, frustrated, and end up failing without even realizing it. Women often create distance as a way to measure your strength, your stability, and your true level of confidence. Here's what you need to understand. Women don't test men out of cruelty. They test men because attraction itself isn't enough. A woman wants to feel safe choosing you, and one of the clearest ways she can figure out whether you're genuinely strong or just pretending is to step back and see how you react. When she creates space, she's watching closely. Do you panic? Do you start blowing up her phone with messages like, "Why are you ignoring me?" or "What's wrong? Did I do something?" That response tells her you can't handle uncertainty, and instead of reassuring her, it makes her feel like you're emotionally unstable. Or maybe you go to the opposite extreme. You punish her with coldness, ignoring her entirely, or making passive-aggressive comments. That's another fail because it shows you're insecure and need control over her behavior to feel powerful. The hidden test behind her distance is simple. She wants to know if you're still grounded when she pulls back. If you can stay calm, patient, and unfazed, you prove you're the kind of man who can handle her emotions, her fears, and her complexity without losing yourself. That's far more attractive than a man who collapses at the first sign of tension. Think of it like this. When she steps away, it's as if she's subconsciously asking, "Can you handle me at my most confusing? Can you remain consistent even when I'm unpredictable?" She doesn't expect perfection, but she does expect emotional resilience. And if you pass that test, her respect and attraction for you multiply. This test is often more about her than it is about you. Maybe she's been with men in the past who cracked under pressure, guys who became clingy, jealous, or demanding the second she didn't give constant reassurance. By pulling away, she's seeing if you are any different. This is why your response matters so much. If you stay calm and continue living your life, working on yourself, pursuing your goals, spending time with friends, you send a powerful message without saying a word. You're not dependent on her for your emotional stability. That doesn't mean you don't care about her. It means your world doesn't collapse because she pulled back for a while. And to a woman, that is deeply attractive. Here's the catch, though. Many men confuse staying calm with being passive. But there's a difference. Passivity is when you ignore problems and pretend nothing is happening. Calm strength, on the other hand, is when you acknowledge her distance but refuse to chase or pressure her. For example, if she becomes distant, you don't need to blow up her phone, but you also don't need to ice her out. A simple, confident message like, "I'll give you space. Let me know when you're ready," communicates strength, patience, and leadership. Passing this hidden test requires balance. Too much neediness and you fail. Too much indifference and you also fail. The sweet spot is showing that you value her, but you don't lose yourself when she wavers. That's the type of man women respect because it proves you're emotionally secure. And here's the deeper truth. This isn't just a game she's playing with you. Sometimes she doesn't even realize she's testing you. It's subconscious, what men must do when she pulls away. When a woman starts to pull away, most men make the same predictable mistake. They panic. They feel her energy shift, and instead of holding their ground, they rush in to fix things. They send long texts, demand answers, or start over-explaining themselves. The problem is, this only makes her retreat further. Why? Because desperation kills attraction. It's not necessarily a sign that a woman is done with you when she walks away. It may be her attempt to test your limits, a reassessment of her feelings, or a need for emotional processing time. Your response now has the power to either win her back or drive her away forever. The first step is to fight the temptation to chase. Chasing can take many different forms, such as persistent phone calls, emotional outbursts, or attempts to purchase her attention with praise or presence. She loses respect when she perceives that you are rushing to win her back. Instead, give her the gift of space. That doesn't mean you completely ignore her. It means you step back and allow her to feel the natural consequences of her distance. By not chasing, you create room for her to miss you. Second, stay grounded in your own life. The biggest mistake men make during this stage is putting their lives on pause. They stop focusing on work, gym, friends, and passions, making the woman the center of their world. Third, stay calm and consistent. Pulling away is often a subconscious test of your emotional stability. If you overreact, you fail. If you respond with bitterness, you fail. But if you stay calm, kind, and steady, she'll respect you. Fourth, set boundaries without ultimatums. If her distance becomes disrespectful, such as ignoring you for days while expecting you to be available, you must communicate your standards clearly. Lastly, embrace the possibility of walking away. This doesn't mean you threaten her. It means you hold the quiet confidence that if she continues to pull away, you will move forward without resentment. That energy alone changes the dynamic. Women feel when a man is strong enough to let go, and ironically, that's often what pulls them back. In short, when she pulls away, your job is not to chase, it's to stay centered. Focus on your life, hold your ground, and communicate with calm confidence. That's how you pass her test, re-attract her, and maintain the respect that keeps her interested. Attraction isn't just about what happens when she's close. It's about how you handle yourself when she's far. And the men who truly understand this are the ones who keep a woman's respect, desire, and trust long-term.